each other freedom to express yourself without getting upset.
Yeah.
Because I'm not mad at anybody. I just find it silly that we think these masks are helping.
Right. And this is what I would say. If you all have an issue with the mandate, then call DeWine.
I did.
You know?
I sent a message to his
And
office.
yeah, and let them know, you know, I don't know. All I know is that I can't go into Walmart without one.
Right.
You know?
And I'm okay with that.
And I couldn't go to Children's Hospital. I couldn't go to Campus Cyclery. I couldn't go to Little Caesars Pizza today without a mask on.
Christy and I went to Florida, and we stayed away from my dad for a week to make sure we wasn't running temperature.
Yeah.
And I've got a sister that's got diabetes and heart issues, and I want to do everything I can to protect her. Those people that were quarantined in the early days had the same rate of infection as those that weren't. This virus is going to do what it's going to do. These masks, you do some research on that. They are ineffective. Now, if they come up with something that can cause me to keep somebody else from being sick, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I want to, as a Christian, be an example to the lost public.
Yeah.
And say, I'm going to go by what the Bible says.
Yeah.
I just want you to see this, see both sides of it.
Yeah.
And be open-minded. Because there will be a line when you got to withdraw. Paul and I drew it a little earlier. When you withdraw a line somewhere when the government says, church, you won't meet anything.
Yeah.
My God, we will meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So, and that being said, Jim, I'll ask you to come on up and we can kind of move into a business format. We've got, you've got an agenda in front of you, and I'm going to keep my phone here. I dare say that the recording is not going to be picking up anything unless you're speaking right to my phone. But we'll just give this a try and try to publish it. Bunny was one of them that actually asked if we could get this out and publish it, okay? Mr. Moderator, you would have to call us into a business session, okay?
All right. I just want to say, Connie, you mentioned that you were smiling behind your mask. People are pretty stressed out because of having to wear their masks, and especially retail cashiers. And I've made it a point to, when I check out, to say, you may not know this, but I'm smiling behind this mask at you, and you would be surprised the number of cashiers that just all of a sudden get really friendly. So I appreciate the fact that you let us know you're smiling behind your mask. All right, I need a motion to get this meeting on the road. Okay, second. We do not have a secretary.
And she is on her way. So,
Vicki, can I impose upon you to take some notes until Michael gets here?
You can just do it right on your agenda if you've got it in there, Vicki. Okay.
Okay, so Fred made the motion. Did we get a second? All right, John seconded, so we can officially start our meeting. The way the agenda is set up is the nominating committee is going to address the congregation first with what has been going on, specifically pertaining to a security director and a music committee member. Let me back up. Typically, when we start this meeting, we approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was in February. Those minutes were posted in the back shortly after that meeting. I have a copy of those minutes, and does anybody want a copy right now? Because I know somebody that's pretty good with the copy machine. Nobody wants a copy of the minutes from last February? Okay. All right, so nominating committee.
Debbie, you're here, and I don't mean to leave you out on a limb, but you got the text from Lexi and from Brett. You didn't get those group texts. Okay. Well, then, if I can, on behalf of the nominating committee, one person was interviewed or spoken to about the security director. After looking at the job description, he said he couldn't do it. Lexi said, in her opinion, there's no one in the church that is able to do this job. Now, I don't know if she interviewed everybody, asked anybody else. So at that at this point, that's a stalled issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Did she say why she felt that nobody was capable
No.
with regards to the job description?
No. All she said was that Ronnie read the job description and said that he couldn't do it. Now, probably because we're expecting that person to be here every time we have church or every time the building's open.
Okay. I have a copy of the job description. How about if I make copies and hand them out so that you have the opportunity to look at it and see if you qualify or if there's a problem with it?
Okay.
Sunshine.
Just have one person?
Well, that's the point I was going to make with Ronnie's issue. It's not going to be one person. The way I understand it, it will be anybody that wants to be on the security department or security committee, and that way, if somebody's on vacation, hopefully another individual from the committee will be there.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and table that until we get the definition
All right.
or description handed out.
And then, Debbie, if I can speak again, Lexi's response to nominees for a music committee was simply that doesn't take the involvement of the nominating committee. Anybody can join a committee at will, at free will. Here's my contention with this. It has been the pastor and Mel dealing with music, and I'll just go ahead and say this. I have no earthly idea when Mel might be coming back. And so this is becoming a burden to me. And I would rather have a committee that would oversee the music ministry involving Mel and including overseeing Mel and relieving me from that duty. So, Mr. Moderator and Deb, with your nod to this, I would just ask if anybody would like to serve on a music committee and oversee music and the twists and turns to that. With that said and done, Lynn's been dealing with playing pre-recorded music on the keyboard, and we're getting to the end of this. I mean, we're getting repetitive because there's only, I'm going to say maybe 70 hymns, maybe even less than that, and we're going to start being repetitive. There is a way that we could have music recorded on thumb drives. Did you see if there's a thumb drive on the piano? Obviously, there's a thumb drive back here on the computer, but I need a committee that can do this for the church. The pastor doesn't want to be the music committee, so that's what I'd like to do. Just open it up for anybody who would like to volunteer to serve.
Okay. For the new members in the back, I just want to kind of clarify something Pastor said. He said anybody can volunteer for a committee. That's not necessarily true because there are committees that require the membership voting on that person for that position.
And I didn't say that. Lexi said that. I quoted her.
Okay. Well, all right. Then let me clarify what Lexi said. So, if you wanted to volunteer to be a deacon, that'd be great because we know what our deacons are like, anyways. But you would have to be voted on by the membership for that position. So, okay. Thank you, Sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have.
As this is written, that she couldn't even be one because with her training, even when she gets trained on.
Okay, and we need to know why. If she wanted to be on the security department, why wouldn't she qualify? If it has to do with the fact she doesn't have a concealed carry permit, then certainly we could make arrangements for her to get one if she wanted one. So just to say that nobody's going to qualify, to be quite honest with you, when I wrote this and put it together, I was thinking of me. And I know that I could qualify for every aspect of this, or I wouldn't have put it down.
Harold and I both qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our conceal and carry. We were never asked either. So.
Exactly. I'm giving it.
No, we don't have to volunteer. I'm just saying, I know there's more than just us in here that.
Okay, let me put it this way. Obviously, since I put the description together and feel I qualify for it per this description, and you two qualify per this description, Fred qualifies, and Jacob, that's 5 of us right there. That's more than enough, I think, to cover the church.
There you go.
I've been through police qualifications.
Okay, do you?
The populace here, John, is pretty similar to that out at a prison. All right.
Where things are going.
One of the things I do want to highlight with this, the definition of what we're looking for is, and Fred has actually brought this to my attention, anybody that qualifies and it becomes a security person should be willing to practice and go to a range. And, obviously that's something that, you can do by yourself if you want. It's more fun if you take other people with you. So, there are some aspects of this that are going to require some time, outside of work. And, of course, now that I think about it, the only one that's working is Jacob, so.
Why don't you bring training in again? Because I really think that needs to happen. Because I'm not saying that you guys are not qualified. You're qualified to do what you need to do, but there's a way that you have to do it.
And is
Well,
that
that's
part of the job description?
I thought it was. I thought I put training in there.
That's just a thought. Like when you came in and did the training,
Yeah.
Have somebody
Right.
just to train with you if you're talking about that kind of incident.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a motion. My motion is that Jim, Fred, Jacob, Harold, and Christy form a temporary security committee until we move on to another stage. I make that as a motion.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion? All right. Harold, a second to the motion? The emotion.
The emotion.
All right. Any discussion? Any?
When we started talking about this originally, my vision was that you'd have a lead person, and then you would have 2 or 3 other people strategically placed in the building that were part of a team, and so that we're not crossfire, and then we actually need to train. We need to take a morning, maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's a half an hour, and we need to train our people that are sitting in the queue.
Okay, Harold, before you start coming to Silver Grove, we did exactly that.
We did that.
Vicky's son, who is a Hamilton, right, he came in on a Saturday. We had quite a few people here from the membership. Those individuals that had concealed carry licenses were placed, if I remember right, we had one up here, we had me over there, we had somebody back there. Was there another one, Fred, I'm missing?
I think you had them on each corner. You were like
Yeah.
that.
And we were told what our responsibilities would be should something happen. And then we played scenarios. We had Brett come in from the back, all hot and bothered. Lexi picked up a hymn book and wailed it at him and hit him in the side, on the side of the head. So, because she had training elsewhere, who said, in that training said, you need to create a disruption if you can. You just can't sit passive. And I remember one of the things that was said was where churches, especially churches, have problems when there's an intruder, is they have a tendency to sit still and not move. And so, like, for my responsibility over there, I was to get that side of the church out that door. I don't know if it was Fred or who it was, because I remember Decon was in the back. It may have been you. You were supposed to get people out this door if necessary. Pastor has a panic button and also another button that registers downstairs. And all of the Sunday school teachers downstairs knew what the code was, because there's a bell that rings downstairs, and if he hits it once, it means one thing, twice another thing, because we didn't want him hitting the bell and having the kids rushing up into the sanctuary if
that was not supposed to happen. Yeah.
Right. So
The thing I'm
You've
not
got the
hearing,
side door and
if somebody walks through that door, if they're armed, that's a whole different story than if somebody walks through and they're screaming.
Yeah.
right,
If somebody walks through